Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, listen, around this time, we are getting ready. Like, literally, we are the week of Christmas. And around this time, we are going to be buying a lot of gifts, opening a lot of gifts, celebrating and loving on each other. But the question that I have that we want to talk about tonight is, do you already have too much stuff? Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Focus on Greatness podcast. I am your host, Hiram Roche, and as always, it is truly an honor to be able to be here with you, my greatness tribe. Hey, listen, I know we are excited for the holiday season, holiday time. This is the week of Christmas, and so I'm hoping that you've gotten the gifts that you want to get for your family, for your friends, whoever you got your gifts for. I hope you already got all those things prepared. I know sometimes we kind of get in that mode where we hit those last minutes. Been having a lot of different conversations with people that have been like, "Hey, look, hey man, I'm just giving cash," or I'm still trying to get the last minute stuff, and those type of runarounds. But hope you're able to get everything so that when the time comes, when Christmas Day is here, you're able to focus on the ones that are with you, the ones that are around, the ones that you love and care for. Um, but as I was thinking about this and preparing for tonight's conversation, I really started thinking about a combination of things. Not only was I thinking about the gifts and, us preparing for those things, right? And all the things that we're going to get our loved ones. But I also started thinking about how that there are times when we are doing these things and we get these gifts and we start to realize that there are things that we got last year or stuff that we got the year before that we are not utilizing any longer. They have become now just things that is set in a closet or stuff that has been tucked away somewhere, but they're things that we no longer use, that have now been clouding or crowding up different areas in our lives. And I start thinking about that, and I start thinking about just in general how that there are things that are in our day-to-day lives that we don't use. Like, there are stuff that sits in our homes, or there are things that are around us. There are scenarios and situations and stuff that is around us that we no longer use, that we are expecting something great to be able to happen next, right? We are expecting 2025. We want to do something big, and all these other contexts, which is great to be able to have. But the thought that I started to think about is, if there are things that we are expecting to happen in this next year, in this next season, throughout this next week, before the year ends, is there things that you probably should be clearing? Is there things that you probably should be getting rid of? Is there things that you should be closing up so that you can be able to be prepared for the things that you're expecting? I think sometimes we start expecting things and start wanting things to happen, but we don't realize that just as important as you expecting something to come in is just as important as you making sure that the space that you want it in is clear, is ready. Like, I thought about, when you order some furniture, or order something, if you have, when it comes in, you're making sure that you have the space for the thing that you ordered. You can have some a couch or a chair or whatever coming in, but if you don't have that space ready, then what ends up happening is the item will come in, and now you're trying to figure out ways to be able to move around things so that you can be able to take the very thing that you just purchased, to be able to find the place or make the space to be able to put it in the place that you designed or ordered it for. And in the same context of life, I believe that there are things that we are all expecting to be able to happen. We are expecting God to do some things. We're expecting some stuff to be able to happen in 2025 in our day to day. Even now, there are things that we might be expecting. But the context of thought is, what are you clearing out? Are you just expecting more income, but you're not making sure that you're cleaning and adjusting in that space? Making sure that your budget is right, making sure that your mindset is updated, making sure that you know how to be able to take whatever chances or adjustments that you need to be able to get to the type of place that you need to get to. Every journey begins with a single step, but what if you knew exactly where that journey was meant to end? I wrote the book for people like you, people that have dreams, people that have goals, people that want to walk in their own business, create their own legacy, but just don't know where to start. This book is a handbook. It's a bunch of tools that gives you the steps that you'll need to be able to walk into the destiny, the dream, the life that you desire and should have for you. And start with the finish in mind. You'll discover how to redefine your purpose, build on actionable roadmap, and stay focused on the outcome that truly matters. With practical advice, real life stories, and a faith-driven approach, Start with the Finish in Mind will equip you to set clear, purpose-filled objectives, navigate challenges with resilience, and build a legacy that you'll be proud of. Start with the Finish in Mind by Hiram Roche, your guide to purposeful living and lasting success. What things do you need to be getting rid of so that you can get the thing that you want? Now, I am not one of these individuals. As we get close to 2025 and we're going into a new year, I'm not one of those individuals that's like, hey, man, listen, we're going into a new year. There are people that you need to cut off. That's not me. I believe that as you are going after the thing that you're designed to go after, I believe that as you are chasing the dream and chasing the goals or going after the calling, as you are going after those things and improving and developing your own self, there are relationships, there are things, there are people that will adjust themselves. I'm not one of those people that be like, hey man, you got to cut this and cut these people off. No, make the adjustments yourself. Now, sometimes what that adjustment looks like is the time that you invest in the individuals. That might be the time that you invest in those certain things. But there are certain times of scenarios where when you are expecting something that you have to make the room for it. You have to make the space for it. You have to clear out. Now, some things you clear out and some stuff you need to enlarge. So, what does that look like? For example, when I'm talking about clearing out, there are certain things in your house you are expecting, just say, for example, you're expecting to enlarge as a family. Well, you need to make an adjustment. If you don't have the space for it, then you need to start looking at the adjustment that you need to make. You need to look at what are some of the stuff that's sitting in this house that we don't even utilize in this space over here that we can use for eventually for the crib or for, whatever we're trying to, like I got a business idea and I want to have a space in my house to be able to do that. Well, you need to look at where do you need to clean out so you can be able to make that space. Those are certain spaces like that. But then we can look at other things. When we look at the context of our thought process, there are certain things that we have, certain mindsets and thought processes that we have when it comes to certain contexts that does not help us to get what we are expecting. Like, for example, I remember some time back. I was having a conversation with my mentor, and this is kind of like in the entry of us kind of like getting together, and we were talking about finance, and he was asking me like a litany of different questions when it comes to finance. And what he was trying to find out is my mindset when it comes to money, right? And one of the things that he asked, or a statement that he made. One of the statements that he made was he made this statement and he said, Hiram, your mindset in a nutshell, your mindset about finances, you have created a mindset, you have created a world, you have created a map, a roadmap of how money flows or works when it comes to you. Now, what we have to be able to do is we have to make the adjustments with your mindset, because the way you think about money is why you're producing the results that you're producing. So there are certain thought process, there are certain things that you're going to have to get rid of. Certain things you're going to have to get rid of so that you can be able to have the type of life financially that you're expecting. So there are certain adjustments that I have had to make because of the thought process have been changing now. It's evolving. But in the process of me evolving mentally when it comes to the finance, there are certain things that I had to get rid of. Now I'm at a stage right now where a lot of stuff have been like kind of like a reset. And now I'm going to have to put into effect. I got to work the new mindset that I was taught and not revert back to an old mindset of stuff that I needed to get rid of. How you do money, how you work with this, how you do these things, the sacrifices that you're going to have to make. All of these things are mindsets, that certain mindsets that I needed to get rid of, negative or bad mindsets that I need to get rid of based upon what I'm expecting, what I'm expecting for my future. So the question then that we have to ask is what are you expecting for your future? What are you expecting for this next week? Now we're kicking off. We're in the top of the week. It's Monday. But what does your week look like? What are you expecting to have this week? What are you expecting to accomplish this week? And based upon the things that you're expecting to accomplish, based upon the things that you're expecting to do, there has to be something that you have to realize that I need to get rid of that affects me from getting to the place I want to go. This is the context of thought that really was just running through my mind. Now I'm drinking this tea for those that are watching, um, because my throat been acting up a little bit. So there are things that I'm realizing I got to get rid of. I love sleeping in cold. I am a hot natured person, individual, and I love the cold. And so now the season is changing. I'm here in Texas. Texas is weird when it comes in reference to the weather, and so I'm trying to make sure that I'm guarding these vocals because this is what I use to communicate. Not just with you, but even with my job, I got to communicate different things like that. So I have to guard this. So I need that this tea so I can make sure that I'm protecting this and making sure this is staying lubricated and open and all those other wonderful things. But I want to be able to just tie this in because again, I said that there are certain things that we need to clear, but there are certain things that we need to enlarge. Some stuff, everything is not a negative mindset. Some stuff is I just need to make more space in this area. I need to enlarge the way I think about this. I need to increase my knowledge in this so that when I get what I'm expecting, I'm not able to just, my thought process is not just for us to gain something, but I also want us to keep the things that we are expecting. And I think sometimes the reason why we are not able to keep some of the things that we are expecting from God to be able to do, I think one of the reasons or some of the reasons why sometimes we can't get what we're expecting is because sometimes, this is not the only thing, but some of the reason why we do not keep the things that we get is because we have not made the space for it. So we have not made the space either because we did not leave some things or get rid of some things that does not help us to gain or get the thing that we want. But then sometimes it's because we have not grown. We have not enlarged our space enough to be able to gain and walk in the very thing that we said we wanted. So then we'll get something, but we can't keep it because we don't have the space for it. So, what I want to make sure that we are doing in the ending of this season, as we are walking into ending 2024, walking into 2025, I want us to make sure that we are looking at what we're expecting to happen. And then we're examining to say, what do I need to clean out mentally, emotionally, when it comes to my financial stuff, when it comes to my family stuff, when it comes to, my arena, my world, what do I need to clean out that is taking up space, but does not help me with what I'm expecting? And then we need to look at the other question is, where do I need to expand? What do I need to enlarge? What territory and place within my world do I need to enlarge so that I can be able to gain or keep the very thing that I'm expecting? That is the dynamic of where we are. That is the moment of where we are. That is the spacing of what's going on. So I want us to make sure that as we are walking into ending this year, that we are thinking about, as you are unwrapping your gifts and spending time with your family and all of those things, and you look in that closet, that old closet that got all your kids' old toys from last year that they ain't even playing with, or the item that you bought, that somebody bought you, that when you look in your closet or you look in your space and you see you haven't even touched it in a whole year or a couple months, I want you to think about, what do I need to clean out in my life? But also, what area, is there areas that I need to expand so that I can be able to not only get what I'm expecting, but I can also be able to keep it. And that's the major part that I want all of us to be able to do as we walk into 2025. 2025 for us is going to be an awesome year. It's going to be an awesome year. And I want to make sure that we are able to get what we're expecting, but we're also able to keep it. I love you all, and you have a wonderful Christmas holiday. I love you all, family. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye.